glad to have you here today, Chané. Nice to meet you. My name is Lily.
Likewise.
Tell us shortly about yourself, please.
I'm from South Africa, obviously. I wrote Time to Travel to South Africa, which was one of the best experiences I've ever had. I'm from South Africa.
It's like Chanel, just without the L.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful to be a mom. Perhaps challenging though. And it's very inspiring that you've got the time, you found the time to write a book about your country in the middle of being a full-time mom. So how are you doing today?
Good, busy, on the road a lot. I wrote Time to Travel to South Africa, which was one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Definitely. I actually worked in the hotel industry for quite some time a few years ago. So
The hobbies is the two toddlers. I think that's it.
Your toddlers are your hobbies, right? They take all of your time.
They do, but it's also a good experience.
And it's very inspiring that you've got the time, you found the time to write a book about your country in the middle of being a full-time mom.
In a way, I felt that it was something that I did for myself, which is, it makes it personal.
A little more about your experience with IziMarkPublishing. Why did you choose to write your book in depth? Like, what was the motivation behind it?
Well, a funny story actually. My grandmother, great grandmother, used to be a poet, and I've always had this thing where I don't know if I can call it a goal or just like a personal goal or just something that I wanted to do for fun, but I always wanted to write a book. And Easy Mark Publishing kind of found me, which is which made it more, meant to be for me, as it was something that I wanted to do for such a long time. Um, from the beginning, I felt like, part of the family, which which made it really special. And it was very motivating to actually, to feel like you are part of something, and it kind of gives you purpose in a way. Um, but yeah, excellent experience, no complaints at all.
There's a saying that if it's your calling, it will keep calling you. I guess this is one of those cases you wanting to write.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now let's dig into the details of your book, your top 3 surprising facts that you found out about South Africa.
The diversity with the different cultures and everything, that was the most fascinating for me, spoken languages in the country. And also,
each province has their own way of doing things, their own language that is mostly spoken in that province. If you go down to the Western Cape, for example, it's only wine vineyards and grape farms. And when you go deeper up, like the Free State, we have also massive farms, but more wheat and corn and stuff like that. Then you go more up to Limpopo, which is it's excruciatingly hot over there. And they have the Big Five over there because a big part of the Kruger National Park stretches into Limpopo. It's between Limpopo and Mpumalanga. So once again, that's also part of the surprising facts is each Each province are doing their own thing. They have their own uniqueness, which attracts the tourists and even the locals. I mean, I was in Cape Town last weekend. It's nothing like where I've grown up, and the traditions are different. It's amazing.
Basically, you have 7 different countries under the name of one.
No. You see, a province is, if I have to think about it, think of the USA. They have the different states. South Africa is like the USA, just way smaller. And then the provinces can be named the same, or we have like Limpopo, Mpumalanga, the Free State. We can take that as the same. If it does it make sense?
No, it does actually. It's quite like I could say the same about my country and many other countries. I believe they have the cultural and even linguistic. Though when there is a linguistic difference, it's like huge. Then it becomes also cultural. Can tell us more about, let's say, if we want to hike, which states and which provinces are the best for hiking?
Well, there is quite a lot of hiking trails in South Africa. The longest hiking trail, or the most famous, let's say the most famous, yeah, I'm going to take another one. The most famous hiking trail is the Otu hiking trail. It's in the Western Cape, but then also in the Drakensberge, which stretches over its mountains. It's like a mountain range, is the Drakensberge. And they stretch from the Free State into a part of KwaZulu-Natal. The Golden Gate hiking route or hiking trail is also it's amazing hiking trail.
Do you have beaches, favorite places for you that you would recommend?
Yeah, we do have quite a big coastline. I would say for scenery, I would go to the West Coast, which forms part of the Western Cape. Cape Town, for example, is you are literally on the beach and you are looking into Table Mountain. It's quite the experience. But then if you are more into swimming, surfing, that kind of thing, I would go to Durban, Margate, which is part of KwaZulu-Natal. That is more East Coast. The water is much better there for swimming purposes, but it's also, if you go a bit more up in the coastline, Umhlanga is there, and it's also the sand on that side it's not as fine as in Durban, you see, but the water is still amazing.
And let's say we talk about your cuisine. Are there favorite local dishes that you would recommend tourists to try?
In Afrikaans, we call it braaivleis. Now that is almost like a barbecue.
Okay.
But in my opinion, it's better.
Okay. I think every country has their way of making a barbecue and saying that's better,
Yeah, but in South Africa, it can be snowing outside, because what we do for a barbecue is we literally have a fire and we are grilling the meat on the fire outside. Yeah. It can be raining, it can be snowing, it can be scorching hot. If we want to braai, we will braai. End of story. And then also traditional side dishes that goes with that is something with potatoes, like a potato bake. We customize it as we wish. Yeah. And also we call it milipap, which is maize porridge, direct translation, with sauce. Now, in Afrikaans, we say sauce. In Zulu, we call it sheba. Just like onions and tomatoes, and if you want, you can put some green peppers in there. It's a mixture of onions and tomatoes with obviously spices and stuff. That is actually the most traditional side dish to go with the barbecue. Then we also have dombolo, which is steamed bread. Amazing.
Oh, sounds
Best thing ever.
sounds exotic. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the cuisine, and perhaps you can also talk about, let's say we have 1 week and unlimited budget in South Africa for a family. What would you recommend them to do there?
So 1 week's not enough.
Well,
I think that would be in my book as well. I gave 2 examples. If you are a wine lover like me, Western Cape, definitely. I would just the whole week I will spend in the Western Cape, because a lot of our wine farms and all of that, they have accommodation on the farm. They take you through the vineyard, and they offer wine tastings and stuff like that. That is if you are into wine. If you are more into like a nature person, a love for flowers, I would go into the Namakwa region, which is the Northern Cape. Also offers accommodation on site or on the flower farms and stuff like that. Otherwise, if you are more into animals, like the big five, those details, I'm not going to share it because it's in the book, but it's a massive, the Kruger National Park stretches over 2 provinces. So it's massive. As I said, I think there's too much in the country to just mention one place for an unlimited 1 week budget holiday. There's literally something for everyone.
let's talk a little about your book, perhaps, and why do you think it's the best travel guidebook about South Africa?
Firstly, to me, it's a very personal thing. It was a personal goal. It's something that I did for me, not for someone else. So with that, a lot of research went into that book. I am literally stating facts, but at the same time, I made it authentic in my own way. Each chapter regarding each province, there is a little bit of history regarding the province and how everything happened those days. So, yeah, to me, I think a lot of people would appreciate having a little bit of history on where they're going.
Let's talk a little bit about your cooperation. So, what is one thing you would like the world to know about IziMark Publishing and the mission the company is focused on?
The first thing that stood out for me, that attracted me more to the company, is IziMarkPublishing is so focused on giving women the opportunity to express themselves. They are giving us the opportunity to be ourselves, expressing ourselves in our own way. And I feel that they are giving us also, what's the word? I'm struggling to find my words. Woman empowerment is the word that I'm looking for. And once again, to me, that is why I made it personal to myself. There's so many women all over the world that would give anything just to get one opportunity, not necessarily in a writing, but in anything that they want to do for themselves. They just want one opportunity. And IziMarkPublishing offered that to me, which I'm so grateful for. And I don't know how to express the meaningfulness of having the opportunity that I got from them.
Let's challenge you a little bit with a more personal question, which will be, what is one thing no one knows about Chané? We already know that you are a mom of 3 toddlers. That was the news.
Two, not 3. I have a boy who's 5 and a girl, she's 2. That's enough for now.
Yeah.
Something that no one knows about me. I would say my love for reading and the fact that I had this thing, this goal. There's not a lot of people that know this side of me.
It's very interesting. I was just thinking like how many authors said that. Almost, I wouldn't say all of them, but like 80% of the authors I interviewed as an answer to this question say that perhaps that would be that I write, that I could write a book, that I'm a writer, like forming it in different words, but basically the meaning is the same. And I think that's
Yes.
another thing that makes the company, you know, it's like actually helping people to realize their dreams and bring it into life while also growing a business as a company. I think that's such a beautiful combination. And let's talk maybe about some dangerous parts that tourists might face while visiting to South Africa.
Dangerous parts. The first thing that came to my mind when you said that was obviously when you are on a game drive going to see the wild animals, elephants and all of that. My tip on that would be please listen to your guide. And then obviously regarding safety is you just have to, I think it's all over the world. Like each country has their parts where it's not as safe as we would prefer it to be. Basic safety measurements. Keep your handbag closed. When you're at the airport, make sure that your luggage is marked. Don't walk with your, especially in the big cities like Johannesburg, especially, don't walk on the street with your phone busy typing because it's a matter of seconds and it's gone.
Oh.
You will literally just blink and it's gone. And I think it happens to a lot of people. So it's just basic safety measurements. And wherever you go, right across the country, if you have a guide leading you or taking you places, listen to that guide because I can promise you the guide will not warn you or ask you to not do something if it wasn't necessary. Klaar. That's what we say in Afrikaans.
Klaar.
Klaar.
It's like
Finish.
$50, something like that.
Yeah, then it's done.
Okay, let's maybe wrap up our conversation with the hidden gems.
Hidden gems, two came to mind. So I live in a small town called Harrismith. We have a massive mountain called Platberg. Platberg has its own hiking trail, which I've done. I almost died, but I've done it. When you are on top of that mountain, it's a view that you can't describe to anyone. And that is out of my personal experience. I've been there, I've done that. It's definitely one of the biggest hidden gems. Platberg also has a yearly mountain race that they offer to all over the world coming to do that race. And fun fact, this year will be their 100th celebration. The mountain race is 100 years old this year. That's definitely a hidden gem. And then while in Cape Town last weekend, we drove by Hermanus, which is on the coastline. But there's a certain time of the year that you can go whale watching. The town is packed. There's even people standing on the beaches to see the whales.
It sounds like a beautiful experience to have the whale watching.
It is definitely. Obviously, more locals know about it, but tourists from around the world, I don't think they really know about it because that is definitely a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, and that's why we have your amazing guidebook to find out like amazing pictures also included from the gems, hidden gems, and from other beautiful experiences that we can have while visiting South Africa.
I do.
Thank you so much, Chané, and it was really a pleasure to meet you and talk to you.